So now we will be studying about the second, that is second mode of pollination, that is the cross pollination, or we can say it is also called as allogamy. So the definition of cross pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anthers of one plant to the stigma of another plant is called as allogamy or cross pollination. Here in cross pollination, what happens is transfer of pollen grains. Pollen grains have been they are being transferred from anthers of one flower to the stigma of another plant. That is called as, this condition is known as cross pollination, and this is one of the common form of outbreeding, because in this type of cross pollination or allogamy, the two different plants are involved which are of the different genetic constitution. So the progenies or the populations which are being produced, they will have completely different genetic constitution. And allogamy also leads to heterozygosity, like we have seen autogamy leads to homozygosity, whereas allogamy leads to heterozygosity among the population. Now we will see the different types of mechanisms that promote cross pollination. First is Dick-Leney. Dick-Leney is, it refers to, now we will see Dick-Leney is again of the two types, that is monoiky and dioiky. Now we will see in detail what does it mean. So Dick-Leney actually refers to the unisexual flowers. We have seen that what is bisexual and what are the unisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers are those which have both male and the female reproductive flowering parts like androecium, gynoecium, sepals, petals, stamens. All these parts will be present in the same flower. That flower is known as bisexual flower, or it is also called as a perfect flower or hermaphrodite flower. Similarly, unisexual flowers will have either male reproductive structure is functioning, or it will have female reproductive structure is functioning. So that particular flower is known as a unisexual flower. So it is of two types. First is monoiky and the second one is dioiky. So when the male and the female flowers, they are separate but they are present on the same plants. So male and the female flowers, they are present separately but they are present on the same plant. That condition is known as monoiky condition. So in some of the plants, male and the female flowers are present in the same inflorescence. Like if you take the example of mango, castor and banana, where the male and the female flowers, they are present on the same inflorescence. Okay, so that condition is known as monoiky. They are on the separate inflorescence in, but if you see the example of maize, where the male and the female cobs, they are present on the same flower but they are present on the different inflorescence. This is in the case of maize. So other examples of monoiky condition is like cucurbits, grapes, strawberry, cassava and rubber. Similarly, dioiky is a condition when staminate and pistillate flowers, they are present on the different plants. Here you have to remember that different plants. Staminate, that means the male flowering part, and the pistillate is the female reproductive part. So both male and the female reproductive parts of the flowers, they are present on the different plants. This is called as dioiky condition. It is found in most of the papaya, date palm, spinach, hemp and asparagus. So these are the examples of dioiky conditions. Second mechanism that promotes cross pollination is dichogamy. It refers to maturation of anthers and stigma of the same flower at different types. So when the anthers So when anthers and so here we were studying about the dichogamy. Dichogamy promotes cross pollination even in the hermaphrodite species. Dichogamy can be of the two types, protogyny and protoandry. Here the word only suggests that protogyny means gynoecium. Here gyne stands for gynoecium. So if in that species gynoecium matures earlier than androecium, then that condition is known as protogyny. And protoandry means when the androecium matures earlier than gynoecium. So when the male part matures earlier than the female part, so that condition is known as protoandry condition. So these are the two, protogyny and protoandry, these are the two conditions that promotes cross pollination, and it has been found in maize, sugar beet and several other species. Third point which promotes cross pollination, or the mechanism we can say, is heterostyly. Here the word only suggests, the term only suggests heterostyly means, hetero means different and style means the different lengths of the style. So when the styles and filaments, they in a flower they are of different length, so this condition is known as heterostyly. It promotes cross pollination. So this condition also promotes cross pollination, and it has been found in linseed crop. Fourth mechanism that promotes cross-pollination is hercogamy. So in some of the flowering species, what happens is that those plant species, they create a physical hindrance, okay, so as to promote cross-pollination and to hinder the self-pollination. Like they create, like for example, the presence of hyaline membrane around the anther. So it is known as hercogamy. So they create a hindrance so that the outside or the foreign pollen cannot enter. Such membrane does not allow the dehiscence of pollen and prevent self-pollination, such as in alfalfa. So alfalfa is an example. Here, self-incompatibility, what happens is the inability of a fertile pollens to fertilize the same flower. Okay, so there are certain crop species where the pollen grains are fertile, but they are unable to fertilize the or pollinate the stigmas of the same plant. So this condition is known as self incompatibility, and this mechanism also promotes self cross pollination, and it hinders the self pollination. Self incompatibility is found in several species like brassica, radish, nicotiana, and many other grass species, and broadly it can be of two types, like sporophytic and gametophytic type of male self incompatibility. And the sixth point is male sterility. Male sterility is also a very important mechanism that has been used in the hybrid seed production. So it also promotes cross pollination. What happens in male sterility is the pollen grains are non-functional. Here the pollen grains are completely sterile, they are non-functional. So the only option that is left for the mode of pollination can be through outside source. So this mechanism also indirectly promotes cross pollination. Such condition is known as male sterility. It prevents self-pollination and promotes cross-pollination. It can be of three types. First is genetic male sterility, second is cytoplasmic male sterility, and third is cytoplasmic genetic male sterility. Okay, now we will see why we study the modes of pollination. For studying the modes of pollination, we have to study the floral biology. Okay, so studying the floral biology is also very important because it enables us to determine the mode of pollination of various crop species. If we know the floral biology of any particular crop species, we will be able to answer what is the mode of pollination and mode of reproduction of that particular crop species. Okay, if selfing has adverse effects on seed setting and general vigor, it indicates the species is cross pollination, because in cross pollination, if we are doing selfing, if there is a cross-pollinated species, suppose for example, and if we are doing selfing in that species, and then it may lead to inbreeding depression. Okay, so because in cross-pollinated species we cannot do selfing. If we do selfing, then what are the consequences we will face is we will see the inbreeding depression. The performance of the progenies will be deteriorated generation from generation to generation. And similarly, in self-pollinated species, we cannot go for cross-pollination because there will be some negative impact on the crop species. So there will be some adverse effects on these characters. So we should know the floral biology in order to understand the mode of pollination of various crop species. Now we will see what is the significance of pollination, why we study the mode of pollination, and what is the significance of pollination, because it mainly helps to understand the five important aspects. First one is gene action. Gene action, by studying the mode of pollination, we will be able to understand the type of gene action involved. Genetic constitution of the crop species also, because in self-pollinated crop species, the genetic constitution is always on the homozygosity side, whereas those crop species which are cross-pollinated, the genetic constitution is always on the heterozygous side. Okay, because the two different genetic constituted parents are involved in the cross. Third point is adaptability. Okay, for understanding the adaptability of the plant also, we have to understand the modes of pollination. And fourth point is genetic purity. Genetic purity is also very important. To understand the genetic purity of a particular crop species, we should be able to understand, we have to understand the modes of pollination involved and the transfer of genes. We can also go for transferring of the genes by using various self and cross-pollinated mechanisms. Now this is a list showing the different types of allogamous crop species, autogamous crop species, and often allogamous species, like often cross-pollinated species. So in this table, I have listed out some of the self-pollinated crops, cross-pollinated crops, and often cross-pollinated crops. So mode of pollination, according to the mode of pollination and reproduction, we can classify them into autogamous species, allogamous species and often allogamous species. They are also called as often cross-pollinated species. So autogamous species can be self-pollinated, so they can be self-propagated, they can be seed propagated, so the propagation can be done by seed. And the second mode of propagation can be vegetatively propagated, they can be vegetatively propagated. So the example of autogamous or the self-pollinated species which are propagated through seed, they are like rice, wheat, barley, oats, chickpea, pea, cowpea, lentil, green gram, black gram, different types of grams, soybean, common bean, so different types of lentils, chilies, if we see among the vegetables, chilies, brinjal, tomato, okra, peanut, etc. These are all self-pollinated species which are propagated through seed. And the various self-pollinated species which are propagated through vegetative means, like potato. Potato is a self-pollinated crop which is being propagated vegetatively. And the second is allogamous or the cross-pollinated. Allo means different. So cross-pollinated species. Cross-pollinated species, the examples which are being propagated through seed. So example is corn, pearl millet, rye, alfalfa, radish, cabbage, so different types of vegetables. Then, so there are certain condiments and spices like red clover, white clover. So the vegetables like safflower, spinach, onion, garlic, turnips, squash, muskmelon, watermelon. So different types of fruits, pumpkins, cucurbits. So they all come under cross-pollinated crop species which are propagated through seed. And the various crop species which are propagated through vegetative means, they are like sugarcane, coffee, cocoa, tea, apple, pear, peaches, strawberries, pineapple, banana, cashew, then cassava, rubber. So these are the examples of cross-pollinated crops which are being propagated through vegetative means. Lastly, we will see the different often cross-pollinated species or the crop species. First is sorghum, cotton, triticale, pigeon pea, tobacco. These all crop species, they come under often cross-pollinated species. So this is a very important table where you can understand different field crop species which are being classified based on the mode of pollination and mode of reproduction. Here I will complete my topic. Thank you.